Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my April TBR. This month's TBR got complicated because I had to figure out a book for a bunch of the Magical Readathon Orilium Path prompts, and some of them got a little confusing for me. But we're just gonna push on through. So G released all of the callings for the Orilium Path, and I decided to go with Mage Hunter. This is mostly because the prompts were the least complex to me out of all of the ones that I was interested in that I could have chosen. I liked the prompts for this best. Also, I liked the sound of the Mage Hunter description, and I also liked the prompts that I was going to have to be doing potentially for the August. Not the prompts necessarily, but like the number of books that you have to read to get that grade in each of those subjects. So that is why I ended up picking Mage Hunter. My character creation is complete. I did all of the reading that I needed to do for gearing up. I did all of the reading that I needed to do for Novice Path, and over the last several months I did all of the reading that I needed to do for my character specifically, which means that during the month of April, all I need to focus on is all of my classes that I am taking towards becoming a Mage Hunter. Now, the first class under the Mage Hunter calling is Elemental Studies, which is to read a book under 100 pages. For this, I have decided to read Switchbitter by Sarah Ney. This is a short story that I received in one of my Hello Lovely unboxings that I did over the last couple of videos. I'll link it up above or down below. I haven't decided which way I'm going to put that yet, but it's a short story in the Jock Row universe. I haven't read anything in Jock Row, but that is also the only book that I literally could think of that was under 100 pages, so that's what I ended up going with. The next class is Spells and Incantations, and for that, I have to read a book of short stories or essays. So for this, I chose Arcanum Unbounded by Brandon Sanderson. I actually have already started it because I'm actually filming this after April has already begun. So I started Arcanum Unbounded last night, and it is in fact a book of short stories in the Cosmere. So I'm about halfway through, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it in one of my upcoming videos. The next class is Conjuration, and that is to read a book with a source of light on the cover. For this, I chose Cinder and Glass by Melissa de la Cruz. I actually do have an arc of this. I don't really know how it counts. I'm just gonna say that it does. There is something illuminating something else on the cover, therefore it is a source of light. So that's what we're going with. I'll pop a picture of it so that you guys can see that something is lit up. I think it's her dress, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. There's something lighting up on the cover. And we're going with Cinder and Glass for that one. The last class is Restoration, and that is a book featuring healers. This was tricky for me, and what I ended up going with was Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. And the reason that I found out, I haven't read this yet, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but the reason that I found out that this has some kind of healer in it is because I opened the book and literally did a search for the word healer or bandage or anything along those lines, and it did finally pop up that there is actually a hospital of some kind in the Justice of Kings that I assume the main characters have to go to recoup or whatever. So it's there. There are healers in it, and it counts. And then the last book that I'm going to be reading, I actually picked up an extra quest on the adventure board. If you're not sure what that is, go and check out Aurelian Path's Twitter or Discord. G has a whole bunch of things where you can like pick up additional quests so that you can get guild points, and this is a quest for 10 guild points, and it was to find a missing cat or something like that. There's like a cat missing, and I gotta go and get it, I think. And the prompt is to read a book with a cat on the cover. And for this, I chose Steel of Wraithscar by Garrett and Vicky Hadron. I'll pop a picture of it over here. This is the first book in the Gondolara cycle, which is a book that was very beloved to me as a teenager. I ended up reading a bunch of these when my uncle lent them to me as a young kid, and they were fantastic. I remember loving them at the time. I have very, very fond memories of them, even though I haven't read them in well over 10 years, so I'm really excited to dive back into that world and see if they still hold up for me, and I love them just as much as I did back then. This is probably as good a time as any to tell you guys that I obviously failed completely in my TBR that I had set for last month. I didn't read anything. on that TBR. I had set myself Monstrous, which is the graphic novel. I did not get to that. I had set myself Ruin by John Gwynne. I did not get to that, although I did get to it. I just haven't finished it, and I'm reading it very sporadically, so I don't think that really counts. From Blood and Ash, I did not get to that. And now, honestly, I'm actually not sure if I'm going to, considering all of the drama surrounding what just happened in the most recent release in that series. I don't know if it's something that I want to read anymore. Not because of the drama itself, but because of the drama that spoiled what happens in that series. I'm just not really sure if that's what I care to read about. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know too much about it. I just kind of saw vague things about like cheating and stuff going on, and that's really not anything that I care for in any of my romance novels, so I don't know. We'll see. I had set Stormcaster by Cinda Williams Chima, and I did not get to that, although I did try and start the audiobook. I just did not get very far. I just got very distracted with my reading last month, and I had a good reading month. I just didn't read any of the things that I had planned, which is okay, because I went into these TBRs knowing that I was going to be changing them, so that's pretty much where we're at for that. I hopefully won't be changing anything in this month's TBR, just because I have a lot of stuff that I do need to read for the Magical Readathon, and for the Belgariad-along, which I haven't talked about yet. So I am also, the last book on this TBR is going to be Queen of Sorcery by David and Lee Eddings. This is our second month of the Belgariad-along that I'm doing with You Can't Catch Z and Lighting Lavender. And while technically we did end up canceling our live show for the first book, we are going to be rolling it into our live show for the second book. So we're going to be doing a live show on both Pawn of Prophecy and Queen of Sorcery, probably at the end of this month, beginning of next month, in that time frame. You guys should come and join us and talk about it then. If you are reading any of these with us, I'm really excited to talk about my thoughts with those guys about how these books are holding up for us. But yeah, those are the books that I have planned for the month of April. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading in the comments down below. Let me know if you're doing the Magical Readathon too, because I'm really excited to talk to people about the Orilium path. Like, I really want to know what all of you guys are doing, what your callings are, what your characters are. The Discord has been a lot of fun talking to a lot of people in there about what they have planned for the month, so let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want to see any more content from me. But that's it for me today, guys, so don't forget to head down to the description box where you're going to see a rep code for Hello Lovely, which is CAT15 for 15% off of your order, and underneath that are links to my Goodreads, my Twitter, and my Instagram in case you guys wanted to follow me on any of those. But I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!